For a country that doesn't excel in basketball, the Philippines sure is basketball crazy, especially college basketball crazy.
And that's because of three things: love for the game, school spirit, and rivalry.
A 14-0 sweep of the UAAP Season 82's elimination rounds and winning games 1 and 2 to clinch a much coveted back-to-back-to-back. That's what's called a three-peat by the invincible Blue Eagles.
Invincible. Sounds good.
Okay, okay. The men's basketball team of the Ateneo de Manila University.
This is Ateneo's 11th championship since it joined the UAAP from the first back-to-back from way back 1987 to 1988, 2002 after the dark years, the five-peat from 2008 to 2012 with Coach Norman Black, and this glorious Tab Baldwin-engineered three-peat. Good evening, I'm Pia Hontiveros. This is a CNN Philippines special.
That has nothing to do, by the way, with political coverage or hard news. That
We have to
Pia
explain
knows
why I'm
like the
here,
back of your hand.
But everything to do with basketball,
Yep.
college basketball, that Andrei knows like the back of his hand. But this
right.
isn't quite sports desk.
So wait a minute, what is this? Sports
know.
as usual?
I don't know.
I don't think so. Well, what we know for sure, this is a CNN Philippines special on the just concluded UAAP Season 82 men's basketball tournament. I'm Andrei, Felix, and it starts right now. Let's welcome our guests, shall we?
We have with us tonight with this one big, glorious special. Sorry, I have to say it that way. Several star alumni players of the schools that finished in the top 4 plus 1 of the UAAP Season 82 men's basketball.
From the university, let's welcome from the University of Santo Tomas, former USC Growling Tiger and team captain, now basketball analyst, Christian Luanzon.
Hello, sir.
Hello,
Also
thank
from UST, we have a former UAAP Rookie of the Year. He's a former King Tiger who led UST to 2 finals appearances, Jerick Teng.
Woo! That's right. Sorry ka
Hi,
muna.
Jerick.
Sorry ka
Thank
muna.
you.
Natalo ang UST sa finals eh.
Hi, hello.
Come on.
I said, hi
Oh,
lang.
yes.
I know.
I know.
Let's see.
Pero
Oh,
syempre,
let's admit it.
Let's admit it, Pia. What's the UAAP kung walang
Without
Lasal, di ba?
Oo,
Even
ang
if
lungkot. Pag
they
walang
missed out on the Final Four this season. We've got another member of the Teng family, but this time he's from the green and white. He's a 2-time UAAP champion, 2-time UAAP Finals MVP, 4-time UAAP Mythical 5 member, and former Rookie of the Year. We've got none other than former King Archer, Jeron Teng.
Hi, Jaron. I love LaSalle too. Also from the De La Salle University, we have with us the Rain Man, a UAAP Rookie of the Year, MVP and champion in all 4 years he played for the Green Archers, Renren Ritualo.
The legend.
A legend, my favorite
Look at
archer. Ito na.
Pero syempre, let's welcome from the recently concluded Ateneo Blue Eagles,
Yeah.
former King Eagles, the Ateneo de Manila University. He made the fight for the 2002 championship so exciting, and he was one of the vital players who helped end the drought for Ateneo. Not only that, he was also hailed co-finals MVP in that same final series. We have with us Wild West, Wesley Gonzalez. Di kayo pumapalakpak kay Wes.
Not for West. Champion! my favorite 2002 team player. And if all these men gathered here tonight are legends and veterans, this man would be the legend of legends. Wow. Tama ba?
Oh,
The
tama,
veteran
tama.
of veterans, Danny Francisco played with and was integral to the first back-to-back 1987-88 team of the Ateneo de Manila. Danny Francisco, Tito Danny.
So kung may Tito de Ateneo, may Tito de Ateneo tayo.
Hi,
Danny, thank you.
Tito Danny.
Sir.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you so much. Thank you. And of course, we have
Parang
the
mahina
players.
pa yung palakpak nila for Ateneo.
Oo nga, ba't hininahan nyo? Siyempre, let's
And
welcome,
the
yes.
executive director of the UAAP, Rebo Sagiswag. Sorry, I meant Sagisag.
Hindi lang.
Na hindi
Konsehal.
lang pang politika,
Oo.
pang esports pa.
Kala ko si
He's
Russell
so
Westbrook nung
alone
pumasok
tonight.
kanina eh. Light blue suit and
Andrei,
sneakers. Only
umpisan
the
mo na.
executive director. Okay, first of all, maraming salamat for coming here. Una, palakpakan muna natin ang UST. Siyempre, it was a great final series. No, seriously, a great season
Yeah.
para sa UST. Bakit umiiling?
Okay nga, it's a great series.
Yeah, I was saying, UST was a worthy opponent for the Blue Eagles.
So, okay.
Yes.
Pero syempre, palakpakan natin
Of course.
Atenista. Dahil back to back to back.
Pamaypay, pakita yung pamaypay.
Sabi mo, okay.
The past two, di ba laging Ateneo Lasal Pia, yung rivalry. But the past 2 years, let's face it, parang Ateneo UST ngayon, last year Ateneo UP, di ba, yung rivalry. But I remember your time, it was Ateneo Lasal pa rin, tama ba?
Nung panahon ni Renre.
Yeah.
Ilang championships ka sa Ateneo?
Apat lang.
Sa Lasal?
Grabe.
Apat?
Apat lang.
Hanggang 2000?
Apat lang? Sabi niya, apat lang.
2001. So, noong 2002, nag-champion tayo.
Oh, so anong ibig sabihin nun?
Ba't kami nag-champion?
Graduate na ako.
And who are you referring to? Who are you referring to?
Since high school pa.
Oh, may gusto nga sabihin, Wesley.
Wala kasi ako noong 2001. Kaya sila nag-champion noon.
Pwede din.
Pasalamat kay Coach Jun.
Sa tingin niyo ba, mag-iiba yung result, iba nun if you played kung nandun si Wesley?
Yeah, what would have happened? Kung
Ilan ba yung score ko nung game 3? Siguro 15 point. Pag nasa West, siguro mga 25. Iba talaga yung resulta.
Grabe ba tayo? Hindi ko alam kung paano kakayanan yung
This is the Ateneo Lasal rivalry we missed out on for season 82. Sayang. Pero hindi lang sila eh. Di ba?
Oh,
Ikaw na lang magsabi baka.
Siyempre, yung nandito din, yung Teng versus Teng, that made it exciting. Jeric and Jeron Teng. It was a UST Lasal finals nung 2013. I don't know if you remember, pero nakita tayo noon sa isang, di ba, parang the year before, sabi mo, abangan mo next year, kami maghaharap. At nagkatotoo yun. Pinlano nyo ba talaga yun? Teng versus Teng.
Nakalimutan na ng kuya ko. Maalala na naman.
Yeah, let's remind you.
Subukan ko kalimutan, di makalimutan.
Pero syempre, that was the year also na, yun nga, in Teng versus Teng. We'll delve deeper on that rivalry.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit later in the show. But we wanted to talk first about season 82. What was it like for you? You know, describe it to us.
Who
But
wants
don't
to
use the
start?
term boring, ha?
Oh, hindi kasi lagi
Ganun,
sinasabi,
ano.
because Ateneo swept it, di ba, boring.
Parang yeah, people were saying kasi na sana matalo ng minsan yung Ateneo, parang gano'n. Pero teka, let's ask our...
Oh, let's start with the executive director of the UAAP, Rebo Sagisag in a light blue suit. What do you think of season 82, executive director Rebo?
Well, obviously, unang-una it was fast. No? It was rather a short season, medyo compressed. And yung excitement was ibang-iba, especially evenly matched lahat ng most of the teams. Well, Ateneo would say that they were cup above the rest. But it was really, the Wednesday schedule was tough. Even from the...
Three games a day.
So from the organizational point of view and from the commissioner's point of view, evaluate yung games, ang dami. It was a load for them.
How was it from an executive director's perspective? Kasi there were some controversies. Hindi naman mawawala yung mga drama yan, ano. Can you still consider this season smooth sailing and then, alam natin, exciting for sure.
Yeah. Well, kasi officiating, it's been there since, I think, since first season. Hindi naman mawawala yun eh. But relatively, I think the commissioner's done a good job. Then again, yun na nga, ang hirap mag-review kasi katatapos pa lang na Wednesday, bago mag-Saturday, kailangan ma-resolve mo na yung mga issues. No? So that's one of the challenges that the commissioner had to face.
Should we ask the Blue Eagles now or we'll save the best for last?
Up to you.
Tito Danny. Danny.
I represent season 51.
Wow.
I was in college then.
The back-to-back championship.
1980.
The 87.
87,
88, that's right.
Okay, so season 82 for you was what?
You know, season 82 for me was memorable in a sense that, one, it was well organized. You know, a lot of team support, team spirit. Not only that, you could see the beauty of the game. The game has really evolved so much. It has become very scientific, and you could see how the players would really play the game, and well-guided coaches. No, we had coaches who would really guide these players. So I would say it's memorable because if I were to describe season 82, I would say that it was full of beautiful games wherein you can appreciate the game itself.
Yeah, beautiful basketball.
Beautiful basketball.
Gusto ko
Wesley?
lang, sige, bago si Wesley. Sir, mas malakas ba yung team ngayon kaysa yung team nyo? Nung, ano?
Siya na daw bahala kay Kwame.
Kwame who?
Siguro we had our time. This is their time. You know, there will be a lot of debate. We don't want to get into that because, you know, kanya-kanyang panahon yan.
Let's go to the 2002 championship team member. Wesley Gonzalez.
Sir Danny would say, parang it was really a beautiful season, especially for the Ateneo. Kasi you'd see the beauty of how Coach Tab just formed the team and how the players just bought into the system na talagang ang hirap gawin nun from going 16-0 and especially the last two games. And you'd as a player you would think that it's going to be easy, but once you reach the top, it's going to be a harder climb for them. So I think those two games talagang napaka-importante, and I think they really showed like how they valued each other and how they valued the team and how they bought into the system.
Grabe yung tama yung sabi mo, bought into the system. Let's go to the UAAP analyst. The two, itong Growling Tigers. I'll start with you, Christian. You've covered the UAAP games. What did you think of season 82?
Well, from a talent standpoint, it really reminded me of yung time nila Jeron and frankly, yung time namin. And that's excluding me. So I say that because during our time, we had Mike Cortez, James Yap, Rich Alvarez, two-time MVP. Enrico could have won 3. He was a talent. FEU, they had the likes of Arwin Santos. Nung time nila, it was early, late ni Kiefer Revena. Jeron was still young, but Rookie of the Year, mythical team member. Jeric was there. We have Bobby Ray Parks, Kevin Ferrer. It was such a talent this year. Abandos, diba? Ateneo, nandyan din, obviously. And all the other players, every school, Ildefonsos. So yung parity, tulad nga nung sabi ni Sir Danny, was there. And, for UST, it was really almost a Cinderella season. I think what made their mark was the first round against Ateneo. That's when the buzz started. And then them winning, 3 elimination games in 10 days. It was just remarkable. Just fell short.
Briefly, sige, sabi sa atin, we'll go with Jerry and Jeron after the break.
Yeah.
Briefly, Renren, ikaw quickly, of course, assistant coach ng Adamson, what did you think of this season sa UAP?
Well, sabi nga ni Attorney Saglisag, sobrang bilis. It was fast, especially with the assistant coaches and the coaching staff or Coach Franz. Kasi ang bilis, like, after a game, you have to review right away. You have to slice the tape and everything. Like, kailangan mo review talaga yung plan mo, yung game plan mo for the next day, yung practice plan mo. So talagang, hindi naman rushed, but it was very challenging. And yung mga games, it resulted nice and beautiful. Like
basketball.
Sir Danny said, na ang ganda ng games because everybody was focused. Naging focus yung game eh. Naging maganda, naging crucial, naging... clutch lahat ng players. So, nagpakita ng gilas or talented, like, Coach, the ones on here. Loaded talaga lahat ng teams.
I think we'd have to agree with that. We're going to take a time out. We'll go to the Tangs and talk about the Tang versus Tang that season. After the break, we discuss as well the evolution of UAAP basketball, where games more intense. Yun yung tanong. Were the
Define
games more intense
We'll have
then
the definition.
or now?
Okay.
This is a CNN Philippines special presentation. Keep it here. Welcome back. You're still watching a CNN Philippines special.
We're changing things up a bit tonight as we look back at the recently concluded UAAP men's basketball tournament. Ateneo is champion in a three-peat. Let's talk about how. I'm sorry.
Yung evolution.
Jeron and Jerry.
Let's go to the Tang brothers.
Yeah,
Jeric, what did you think of season 82? Of course, a former King Tiger. It's a moment, kumbaga historic season din for UST dahil nakapasok kayo sa finals ulit. What did you think of the season?
Well, the season in general, parang it was very exciting dahil coming to the season, everyone expected Ateneo to be the number 1. Then UP has all the talented players. Then actually lahat sila Coach.
Pero dark horse ang UST, di ba? Hindi kayo...
dark horse. Pero I think no one expected us to reach the finals dahil most of the players second year, rookies, second year, third year.
Yeah.
So, yun, nobody expected us to reach the finals, so it was very exciting.
Sorry, but your team also came second, di ba, at one point sa finals. How do you compare that team to this team?
Talaga nag-sorry pa.
Hindi, para lang
In difference nun, sila kasi, like what I said, most of the players are second year, third year rookies. So they still have a chance. Nung panahon namin talaga, mostly is seniors na eh.
Final year mo na.
Hihirap ng mga tanong sa amin eh. Ang bigat sa damdamin.
Sorry naman. Hindi pa pala nakaka-get over. Sorry.
So that time parang, that was our
Pati
best
final
chance.
playing year mo din, you're right, no?
Yes, yes.
But that would have been nice also. Think about it. Pido Harencio-led team versus the Ateneo team now. Let's talk about comparisons sa strong teams. Jeron was part of a stellar powerhouse LaSalle team, 13-1. Jeron, first, what did you think? I'm sorry, again, of LaSalle this season not making it to the Final Four.
Yun, syempre, grabe yung ginawa ng Ateneo, undefeated all throughout the season. During our time, 2016, we only had one loss, pero for us, it was really hard na rin. And so, grabe, you really have to give it to Ateneo. Very unforgettable talaga ginawa nila this.
So what happened to LaSalle? What happened to the
Not sure.
Wala na kasi siya eh.
Siguro, they're still in the process of rebuilding. They're still trying to look what system fits for LaSalle right now. So, but syempre, the future is bright. I'm sure they'll bounce back next year.
How about that season 79 team? You were coached by Alden Ayo. You had Ben Mbala. Jeron Teng was at that prime. We always talk about how dominant 30 is now, with all due respect. But Jeron at that time was really dominant. If you faced, kasi nagharap kayo ni 30, but 30 was still, on that process, di ba?
Bagito pa.
Oo. Pero ngayon, kung nagharap yung team na yon, Mbala, Teng, you guys, Melesio was already part of that team, against this team, this Ateneo team.
Banggaan ng biceps.
Sabihin mo yung sinabi mo ng break.
It's very hard to compare it.
Ano ba sabi niya ng break,
Oo, ano
Wesley?
yung sinabi mo kanina?
Andrei, what did you say?
Hindi na
Jeron?
sinabi.
Oh,
Ano sabi mo kanina?
Sige na, it's okay.
Kung nagharap yung team
it's okay.
ngayon, dun sa team niya dati, ng 79.
Syempre, Lasalista kami, ma-pride kami. Sabihin ko,
Ate,
Atik na yun. Pero syempre, Ateneo, grabe rin talaga ginawa nila and props din talaga sa system ni Coach Tab. Kasi yung nag-champion kami 2016, sila kalaro yung finals, first year pa ni Coach Tab eh. Medyo nag-gel pa silang asa sa team. Ngayon, third year na nila, sobrang fluid na talaga yung nila. Fourth year, sobrang fluid na talaga yung chemistry.
tama si Jeron doon, naging they bought in with that system na nung time na yun, medyo bago pala kay Tab. So yung evolution of that Ateneo team. And
Yeah.
speaking of yung...
Evolution.
Yes?
Yeah, I wanted to ask about how UAAP itself has evolved from the 77 to the present. And parang what are the three things that have changed and how? If you can explain that to us as briefly as possible. Who should we start with? With si Idi Rebo or sa kay Tito Danny?
Ito tayo kay Tito Dani dahil evolution eh.
We can talk about it.
Sorry.
Kaya pala tayo pinakain.
Hindi ba para asarin tayo?
Sinet up niya ako for that. Pero okay. Okay, who wants to start?
I can start.
Sige, Sir Dan.
I believe the Ateneo Blue Eagles were in the NCAA, and they moved to the UAAP, and this was in after 77.
77.
After 77, and in 1987, when we were in the finals against UE, the back-to-back was against LaSalle. That was the very first televised finals game,
Right.
and.
Rizal
When you talk about,
Coliseum pa yun.
that's Rizal Memorial, and if you're going to ask me about three things about that finals, is that the evolution of the game is that one, marketing wasn't there, marketing of the games, just one finals game televised. Second would be Rizal Memorial. Because ang Rizal
Na walang
Memorial,
aircon?
just for everybody's benefit, there were only 4 industrial fans in the corners of the court. You had the ringside, you had the lower box, and you already had the bleachers that can probably seat about 10,000.
Tabo pa sa CR.
Exactly.
Naabutan mo ba yan?
And then probably another thing would be maybe team support. During our time, we had yung mga utility boys namin, would mix alcohol with liniment, no? Parang yun ang imamasahe sa amin. No? Hindi katulad ngayon, because of science, sports medicine, kung may sakit, may spray kagad, yung ganun ba? So, whenever I look back during our time, I think that's the evolution of basketball, no? Especially in the UAP, wherein one, it became highly marketable,
And there's also social media. now.
social media,
Malaking bagay yun.
and the support of tri-media, and of course, social media is so big, and you get to have younger players really look up and idolize, the players that we have
Look at
now.
them as legends. Wait. Teka pa. Yung shorts.
Yung shorts, kasama na rin yun doon. Kasi nakakatawa nun, dahil sa init siguro ng Colosseum, ang uniforme namin doon parang fishnet eh. Di ba? We call it air cool na.
Pero teka lang, Sir Danny, bumabalik na yung short shorts ngayon ha? Yung
Ano ba nangyari?
Oo, uso na yung short shorts. Di ba?
Yung evolution of fashion ni Rebo Sagisag.
Okay, Rebo Sagisag. Fashion ni Rebo Sagisag. Ikaw, Edie, how would you incorporate yon yung evolution ng fashion? Siyempre, pagdating din dito, sabi nga ni Sir Danny, may short shorts na bumabalik ngayon. And the evolution of then and now of the UAP Games.
Nalimutan lang ni Sir Danny sa Rizal yung may chicken wire doon eh.
Oo,
To make sure
meron.
talaga na yung mga ibabato mo hindi umabot sa court. Because, I tried throwing stuff before.
Okay.
I was a young kid. When you're young, you're stupid. So there. So anyway, nabanggit nga yung social media, like Chris has said, no? Even I'm into it now. Nakakasira na. Well, they're all over the place. And they're more marketable. Iba na yung market. It used to belong to male-dominated audience. The cheering has changed. Although sa NCAA, you still hear some of the medyo brash pa rin yung ano. But you now see families, it's a family affair already. And that is why, also pati, I think yung officiating has changed. It's allowed for more scoring. We tried to clean up the game. Baka nami-miss ni Wesley yung konting action na pinapayagan natin. But don't get me wrong, I grew up a Bad Boys fan, no? The Detroit Bad Boys fan. But then again, I read some books on the philosophy of the changing of the game. Because people don't really don't pay to play the goons. They want to see talent come through. So that's why we allow for higher scoring, and that is why mas wide na yung market ngayon. Like ito, wala akong mabantayan dito, pero lahat kayo kayang pilayan. People don't come to watch me. They want to see 3D and all your talent come through. So that's why
Players are less physical now? Ganun ba yun?
yung contact na inaalaw namin, and we're very careful na sa sportsmanlike fouls, the disqualifying fouls. We're very the referees are supposed to protect the players now and to make sure that talent comes through.
And well, there's technology, no? So nababantayan
Yeah, so kung ma-skip ng 3 referees there, we can suspend after. Or even talk to the players. Baka naman minsan
Tanong natin yung player's perspective. Yung Totoo ba yan? Mas physical. Let's go to yung Ateneo Lasal, yung Ren, Wesley.
Yeah.
Kasi I remember din dati nga, di ba, Mac Cardona yung panon, yung di ba, may mga taunting din sa inyo. Was it more physical during your time?
I guess so. For me, parang player standpoint, it was more personal in terms of, playing against each other. Not like now, parang they're all friends outside Me and Ren, you couldn't, expect us to talk outside of the court. Kumbaga, dito sa loob ng court, magkalaban kami. Sa labas, magkalaban din kami. So, ganun yung treatment namin sa isa't isa. And I think that's one of the big differences now.
Yeah, so how did that happen? Why are they friends now and you guys were?
Probably, because of social media also. Okay. And I think they're probably learning to, parang they don't want to happen what happened before, probably. So, but kasi kami naman, ganun yung namin. Kung kalaban kita, kalaban kita.
So would you on purpose? Did you on purpose hurt someone? Or we can skip that question.
Yeah. Well, it's part of the game.
Part of the
kasi.
game.
It was really part of the game. Back in the 90s, 2000s, talagang, kung away-away, parang gano'n Kung sasaktan kita, hindi.
And if you can get away with it,
of
ba yun?
course.
Tungo yung isa doon
Yes, Ren.
Ikaw ba, totoo? Puro pananakit.
Like Wesley said, it's more personal. Talagang personalan yung basketball before. Siyempre, like me, coming from San Beda, Lasal, dala ko yung pride ko na if you're like growing up in San Beda, hindi ka pwedeng kainin sa school. I mean, kakainin ka ng mga tao doon pag gusto mong weak ka or something. So, nadadala namin yun sa basketball court.
Oh, the court.
Especially me.
Nanggigigil ba kayo? Ganun ba?
Oo, gigil na gigil. Pinaprovoke mo. Gigil na gigil
I'm just-
ako lagi. So,
Okay.
Maybe I should stop asking questions.
may pride, may yabang. Pagdating sa court talaga, ay mong magpapatalo. Lalo na pag sa mga laro. Tapos lahat ng gagawin, like yung sinasabi nila, find ways. If you can't score, find ways. So,
Yeah.
right now, yung sinasabi ni Attorney Sagisag na yung rules allows players to score more. I was like averaging 20 points per game. So siguro mga 35 ako noon. Diba?
May karapatan.
Ano, diba?
May karapatan naman.
So ikaw, first quarter pa lang, graduate ka na. Kasi foul ka na ng foul noon. Wala mo yung hands mo, mga dalawa lang agad.
Buti na lang pinaghiwalay natin
Pero
sila.
nung, oh, nga,
Okay.
pero nung naglalaro kayo,
Hintay.
would you actually try and start a fight?
Gusto ko itong magkapatid, yung Teng versus Teng.
Bakit
Lalo
nag-away
na nung
ba kayo?
finals.
Did you-
Yan nga, nag-aaway ba kayo noon? Was there a time na
Were you
nahirapan
physical
sina
with each
Tito
other?
Alvin sa inyo na, di ba? Especially the time that you faced in the finals.
I remember this one time in the finals na
Naku, ito na,
free
I
throw.
remember.
Magkatabi kami sa...
Maganda to.
Nagbo-box out kami. Tapos nagkatirahan kami.
Sino nauna? Si Kuya, ikaw ba, Kuya Jeric? O si...
Well, sabi niya, ako. For me siya.
Turuan,
Okay.
turuan.
And
Okay,
the
okay.
interesting story there is, after the game, I think, nasa isang car lang kami, family car. Then nag-argue kami sa loob ng car. Tinira mo ako, hindi ko nauna eh. So ganun. Pero after that, wala naman.
Sino kinampihan ni Tito Alvin ba ni...
Nakikinig lang sila.
Kita lang, sinabi lang, wag na mag-away. So, yeah. Ano lang, naging physical lang kami sa isa't isa talaga.
But it was just, of course, part of the game.
part of the
At the end, kumbaga.
Nothing more.
All right, we'll take another quick break.
A batchmate once told me that the games, their coverage, commercialization, and merchandising have all evolved since the 1980s. But one thing remains the same: school spirit. That's next on the CNN Philippines UAAP Season 82 Special here at TAP.
Welcome back. You are still watching a CNN Philippines special on the recently concluded UAAP Men's Basketball Tournament.
Let's talk about school spirit, rivalry. That's what makes college basketball so exciting and addicting. Yung ano muna, rivalry. Kasi there was this urban legend na kaya daw, Ateneo left NCAA first, di ba? And then kaya daw, lumipat yung Lasal kasi malungkot pag walang Ateneo Lasal. Tama ba yun? Or is that...
I'm not so sure about that. But I
pero
think
mabuti na rin sumunod na sila, no?
yeah. It was, I think, a good move on the part of LaSalle. No? Not for anything else. I think, based on history also, there were a lot of hooliganism, in the NCAA before, wherein it wasn't really that controlled. So I believe Ateneo made that move to the UAAP, and then LaSalle followed. And I think the rivalry of the NCAA between Ateneo and LaSalle have moved already also, has moved already to the UAAP. So talk about school spirit and the rivalry.
Yeah.
So it's still alive.
Parang ano what's UAAP without an Ateneo Lasal game? Kaya nga, I was saying kanina, ang lungkot pag hindi
Pag
Ateneo
walang,
Lasal
pag
sa
walang
finals.
Lasal,
Oo.
kahit hindi nag-Final Four.
Hi, Renan.
Hindi, pero actually, dati, di ba, parang sabi nga nung sa NCAA, Ateneo San Beda doon yung rivals, Letran Lasal. Then eventually naging Ateneo
No,
Lasal.
Ateneo Letran also, di ba? Hindi ba?
Hindi, Ateneo San Beda, tapos
Ateneo San Beda.
Letran, oo.
And- yeah, oo.
Ikaw naman, Edie Rebo, how about the rivalries? What do you think? Of course, there are a lot of rivalries, pero iba yung, konti lang yung decorated. Of course, Ateneo Lasal, now San Beda Letran.
Yeah. But the thing is, in recent years, you've seen that parang really the UAP is just more than Ateneo Lasal. No? Itong the so-called Battle of Katipunan is gaining steam. Now we have the separation of church and state. And I hate to say it, no, but yung Go Este is really, talagang it's in everybody.
Yeah, the
UAP
cheer.
fans,
Sample nga,
Go Este
sample.
cheer. Sila na lang.
Sample?
Yeah.
And Yun nga, and one thing that people don't know, when you try to fill up the stadium, from our point of view, no, it's not really the Ateneo Lasal that fills up the stadiums because ayaw nilang
Which
bumili
game?
ng taas eh. To be honest, yung GA and upper box, medyo hindi...
Uy, nasa upper box ako kahapon.
Except for you. But if it's Ateneo Lasal, hindi nga. But if it's UST there or FEU, punong-puno. And iba rin, I don't want to compare, but iba yung energy rin pag UST nandun ng FEU. Parang more on students and stuff. So, it's just more than Ateneo Lasal.
Punta tayo sa UST, guys. May mga consider kayo, like ikaw, yun na rivalry when you were playing. And now nga, Ateneo, di ba yung separation of church and
State.
Well, actually, I hated these two guys.
Ren and
Because they were so good, especially ito.
Lasal.
And kami ni, my teammate back then, si Emerson Oreta, like, we would talk kung paano namin
Ipigil.
ililimit. And I'm being, I'm being nice. Okay? Because
Use the real word. I'll understand.
Kung paano namin
We're live.
papatirin. Kasi he likes to go off screens. Same thing for Wesley. Buti na lang naging mag-teammate kami sa PBL. So parang sabi ko, this guy is not so bad. Pinapasabay pa ako pa uwi. So, but yeah, tulad ng sinabi nila, I think it was more personal during our time. Don't mind that, by the way. Si Doug Kramer lang talaga naging model doon.
Throwback photos pala to, Chris.
Yeah, so, but we talked about eras earlier, and this is no disrespect to all of them, and I've always been outspoken about this, but who's gonna guard Mike Cortez? Who's gonna guard Cardona? Who's gonna guard Rich Alvarez? Who's gonna guard Renren? No disrespect to their era.
So are you saying
Arwin Santos,
your era...
Cyrus Baguio, di ba?
So are you saying during that time, yung era mo, Christian, time nila, Wesley, Renren, was more competitive then? Than
It was definitely more competitive
than the
in a
Teng
sense.
Ravenna era?
Because of the rules. Because of the rules. And obviously that played a part. And I think search ka lang sa YouTube, marami kang makikita na konting away ka agad, scuffle ka agad. So it was just a different time, and I would say it was more entertaining.
Okay.
In a sense.
No, I would have to agree. That entertainment value of the rivalry and yung school spirit. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na yun nga yung kailangan
Not to say it's right, di ba? But from a fan perspective, di ba, minsan mas gusto makita ng mga tao may konting kulay. Lalo na ng time nila.
Kulay?
Sir Danny, may konting kulay.
Ano ibig sabihin ng kulay? Okay.
Yung may
Naghahalo yun.
I'm not asking for the English.
Yes.
Ikaw talaga.
Kasi the viewers now are different na rin kasi, di ba? Parang as Sir Revo was saying na parang gusto nila makita na yung talent eh. Yung galing na eh. Not before, parang pag nakita ng away, mas exciting eh. So yun yung time na naglalaro kami, mas exciting pag may away, mas exciting pag may gulo. So ngayon kasi yung mga nanonood ngayon, parang mas gusto nila makita yung kung gaano kagaling si
Kung gaano
Tony,
kagaling.
di ba?
Yeah. Oo.
Kami,
Nakakapikon kasi
pagwapuan lang
sa-
kami nun eh.
Gusto ko, isisingit
No, yun ang sinabi nila daw
Pagwapuhan.
sa UP, pagwapuhan na lang daw. Of the present teams, UP
Grabe
and Ateneo.
naman yun.
Oh, grabe.
Gawa naman ako kay Bright.
Basta tayo dito sa
Only that could
yung
give
magkapatid.
you points, no?
Kasi was it intentional na maghiwalay kayo ng school? Because now, the Gomez de Leaño brothers in the same school, the Nieto twins in the same school. But your time, was it... No, my question is, wouldn't you have done it differently? Kung nagkaroon kayo ng chance mag-say, stay in one team. Kunyari, kung magkakampi kayo sa UST or magkakampi kayo sa Lasal, would you have done it? Or okay na yung nangyari na nasa Lasal ka na sa UST?
Kulang ang bola.
Kasi before we played against in college, we were teammates in high school eh. He was my senior in high school then. It was my first year. So yun, so we've had that experience na. So for college, we tried naman, syempre para mag-grow rin kami individually. And syempre magka-posisyon din kami, so para...
Sabi nga ni Christian, kulang daw yung bola sa inyo.
Pero mas maganda siguro kung nag-USC siya, nag-champion kami. Nag-champion kami na ilang beses.
But I saw these two when I started my coaching career. They were playing together in Xavier. Actually, they clicked. They won a championship there nung sa Tionglian League.
Kasi kaya nga there was a question na bakit hindi nagkampi yung Teng and Teng in the UAAP. Imagine that if Jeric and Jeron were on the same team, how many championships would that team have won? Jeric?
Siguro yung lahat ng championships. Kasama ako doon. yun. Wala.
Okay, so go.
Wait, let's move on.
Go.
Ako, I wanted to know kasi because most of you went on to play professional basketball, but do you guys miss playing in the UAAP? I mean,
No question.
nakaka-miss ba yun?
Oo naman.
No, no.
Who wants to go
Okay,
first?
why do you miss it? Ren.
Oh, well, it's a different atmosphere.
What do you mean by that?
Iba yung
Iba yung
fans, iba
school?
yung fans sa pro eh. So, sa college, makikita mo sila the next day. They're there, they're your friends. So, they're your family, kasama mo sa school, kasama mo mag-hangout. So, pagdating sa court, nandun din sila. Everybody's supporting you guys. Tapos, syempre, may community eh. Sa PBA, sa pros, iba eh. I mean, iba yung fans, iba-iba siya. So, walang masyadong connection sometimes. So, pag sa college, may spirit. That's why there's spirit because nakikita mo sila, may relationship kayo.
Si Jeron, congratulations by the way sa Alaska Aces, pumasok sa playoffs, okay. Pero ikaw nga, same question ni Pia, do you miss playing in the UAAP?
Definitely. Ibang experience talaga playing for UAAP. Kasi the school spirit talaga is there. Parang when you win games, the whole school, the community
Celebrates.
celebrating with you.
Yep.
And, you know, unlike pros kasi, honestly speaking, syempre, maghinaya ka lang sa bonus. I'll be honest about it.
Surrounding!
Ang ganda naman sa sound bites ngayon.
Sa college, different talaga eh. You're doing it for your alumni, diba? For those who supported you, your classmates, your teachers, for everyone. So, nakaka-miss talaga yung ganong experience.
You're doing it before for that school pride. Ngayon, business. It's your
professional
diba?
career,
Your career. Tama ba, Jerry? Ikaw in the
Same thing with Jeron. Kasi sa UST, iba talaga eh. The support.
Magkano allowance natin?
Nakakaya.
How much? Hindi. No. Sabi ni
Now I'm
Christian,
curious.
sabi mo yung allowance natin. Sabi ni Jerry, wag na, nakakahiya. Okay.
No, hindi, huwag ka mahiya. Huwag kayo mahiya. Sige,
Nung panahon yun iba na ngayon. Pero sige, ikaw na.
Basta
Magkumparahan tayo.
We really played for the school, for the alumni, for the students. So iba-iba talaga, even your teammates. Kasi sa professional, iba-iba na yung age eh. Doon sa UAAP, magkaka-age lang kayo. So you have the same interests. You hang out after the game, after practices. So yun, iba na sa pro, may kanya ng families na.
Yeah.
So that's one of the difference.
Yeah. Christian.
To put it in a sentence, every year, it felt like a first-time experience. And I say that because we pretty much yung, teenage years. And sa isang bata yung teenage years, usually yan yung mga talagang highlight ng kabataan mo. So for you to, go to college, Ateneo LaSalle UST was, one of the top schools in the country, and then to represent your school playing in the biggest stage, and then you grow up with your teammates, your brothers eventually. I think that makes the experience priceless. Compared sa pros, every year, nagpapalit ng coach, nagpapalit ng players. So that's when the friendships becomes eventually your brothers and so on.
Okay, let's hear it from the Blue Eagles man, Wesley.
It's more personal for me. It's more personal. As Renan would say, parang yun nga yung community nandun. And you're playing for not for money. You're playing for pride and for your family, for your school. So it was something else that parang mas naibibigay mo lahat at that time. Of course, in the pros, it pays you the bills. But iba yung
There's nothing
feeling.
like playing for the school, no?
Iba eh. Iba lang yung feeling talaga na parang walang kapalit yun. Pero yung nakukuha mo, yung enjoyment, yung kasayahan, it was really on a different level for me.
At yung magkakanta ka ng alma mater, hymn mo right after the game. Tama ba, Sir Dan?
Yeah. It's talaga nakakamiss yan. Well, for me, of course, I missed the UAP because I only played 2 years. I had to retire early. But we could have won more championships, so to speak. But it wasn't meant to be. So I guess missing the UAP is really missing the atmosphere. Having to practice with your teammates, growing with them, being a family. And I think yun ang nakakamiss nga sa UAP. Yung samahan ninyo because you know, you step out of college, we still have those friends with us. You know, I have a lot of Lasallian friends, you know, friends from other schools. My former teammates were still good friends now. So yung talaga yung bond that you create, no, during the UAP, hindi mo mawawala yan.
Okay, we're down to the final stretch of this CNN Philippines special on UAAP men's basketball. And when we return, Pia, we look back and look ahead to season 83.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
This is a CNN Philippines special on UAAP men's basketball. Now let's look at what to expect in season 83. Are you okay with that? Are you?
Yeah, go. Dali. Let's wait. Dito tayo kay Edie Rebo. What to looking ahead to season 83?
Well, I guess obviously defending champion Ateneo will still be there, but people are now talking about how stronger that US team will be next year. People are also talking about the uncertainty surrounding the UP Maroons. We don't know what's going to happen. A lot of uncertainty actually. Change in coaching of, I think, in NU, De La Salle also, and change in management of De La Salle. So it's going to be a very interesting offseason. So I'm looking forward to a more exciting season 83.
Danny,
Yes, it's going to be a lot of excitement, no, in the coming UAP season because a lot of people will use Ateneo as a measuring stick. Probably the coaching style
Standard?
of yes, standard. Probably look into how Tab Baldwin really runs the place and everything, no, the system or the program itself. So it's going to be exciting because I expect a lot of teams to be very strong next year, especially teams who probably would have graduated about 2 or 3 seniors. No? Lalakas pa to, no? Itong mga teams na to because they're going to start gelling now.
Wrestling.
What's good about the UAAP is they can. It's one team cannot dominate for 10 years, for 5 years. Parang magkakaroon ng changes. Eh. So that's what's.
Norman Black did it for 5 years.
I did it for 5 years. Pero what's good about the UAAP kasi may bagong players na darating, may mawawala. There's another system. So it's going to be somehow taking turns. So it's really exciting to watch. UAST is, I think, it's going to be a team to beat next year. So, but I'm hoping Ateneo would still win. Kasama natin yan, never by Lasal.
Talaga. Dun sa corner.
Ganda ng tone, never mind Lasal.
But you know what, sabi nga nila, yung UST daw ngayon, parang yung Ateneo a few seasons ago, yung promise nandun, mga bata pa. But sabi nga ni Wesley, hindi daw a few years. But as long as Tab Baldwin is there, mga ilang taon pa kayang yung sistema.
Ang ganda ng sistema niya. But of course, hindi lang yung sistema eh. Yung players din, yung materials din. It so happened for the 3 straight years. Talagang maganda na yung sistema, okay pa yung materials.
He has very good players now, even with the 5 graduating seniors, di ba?
Yeah, SJ Belangel just stepped up. He's just a sophomore guard at 5 threes in game 2.
Brilliant.
How about you, assistant coach? What do you look forward to season 83?
We'll see. Sa lahat ng mga sinabi nila, we're looking forward to the challenge. Tulad nung sinabi ni Edie, it was announced today, our head coach, Coach Goldwyn Monteverde of National University. Very fortunate to be a part of that staff. We're looking forward to compete against the best, even against my own school in UST. And sige na, sama na rin ang Lasal.
Kawawa naman ang Lasal. Ayun talaga.
But kidding aside, I think this is good for the league. It's good for the league. All the things that we just mentioned, all the social media, the marketing stuff, the talent. It's good for the league, and from a fan perspective, it makes you watch not only your home-based school, but also
all the other teams.
all the other teams.
Yeah. Everybody's going to level up. Okay. Very quickly, like 10 seconds each. Jerry, get ready.
Then we go to the best moments.
Then we go to the best
Okay,
moments.
all right.
I just expect the next season. I expect all the teams to be improving, especially since Ateneo had a very dominating season. Yun yung magiging standard nila. So everybody will do better next season.
Yeah, same thoughts also, but I'm really excited for Lasal. Syempre, 2 years na struggle talaga and as a Lasallian, medyo tough din to watch them losing.
Siyempre, nawala ka
Especially
kasi.
Ateneo winning 3 years, so medyo tough times for us talaga di Kuya
So
rin.
para sa'yo, kung ibang school, okay lang.
But for sure, actually,
Really? Talaga?
Quickly, ikaw, Ren, for season 83.
Well,
Quickly.
syempre, more beautiful games like Sir Danny said. And of course, I want to see Coach Christian Guanzon in the sidelines.
Halos isang oras tayo.
Oo nga eh.
Gusto niyo pinabanggit.
Mahaba usapan. Teka muna, I'd like to know
Pia.
your own
Go.
stories of your own UAAP day. So, what were each of your UAAP moments? One UAAP moment that you never ever forget. Ren.
When I cried during my last game, it was touching because I saw a big placard there saying thanks for the memories. Yun ang hindi ko makakalimutan kasi nobody said that to me before that, yung time na yun. So it's just like, teary-eyed ako nun eh. Na-touch ako talaga nung sinabi na thanks for the memories. That simple line, yun yung hindi ko makalimutan.
I thought you were about to cry now eh.
By the way, yung jersey number niya retired. sa
4,
Las
yeah.
Vegas. Okay.
Number 4, di ba?
Jeron.
Me naman when we won the championship against my brother kasi when we won it, parang I couldn't celebrate kasi I felt bad for my brother. So parang medyo naiyak din ako for my brother kasi it was his last year eh. So very mixed emotions.
Ba't di mo pina-champion?
for me.
Last year ng kuya mo.
Wala, laro lang. Best team wins lang talaga. So, yun lang, medyo I felt bad for him lang.
Jeric?
For me, it's the same season, same finals against my brother. Last season ko na yun. And like what he said, after namin natalo, it's mixed emotions. I was sad that, sabi ko, I need to win one. I needed to win one championship. Pero at the same time, he won, so hindi ko lang what to feel that time. I was happy, but I was sad.
So for you, that was your best moment. Yung may bittersweet na, di ba?
Parang yung bond namin as brothers, mas lalong tumatag after that season.
Eh di tama that they went to different schools.
So you're saying, dapat yung mga brothers maghiwalay na. How about you, Christian?
Sa akin, it's not a moment, it's more of seasons. Season 4 was, I didn't really play well that year. So that year I surrendered my life to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And my third season is because that's where I met my college sweetheart.
Yes.
Now my wife, happily married for 12 years. Yeah,
Yes.
Tomasha and also Marie.
Marie, of course.
Wesley.
Grabe yung plug mo doon, pare.
Parang ganyan ang mga Tomasha.
May kasalanan din.
Parang kailangan mo tapatin mo.
Diba? Binasalanan
Mag-isip
ko
ka na
eh.
ngayon ko na sabihin mo.
Banggit na si Marie, banggitin mo na din si Kay, yung asawa mo.
Hi to my wife, Kay.
Teka, wait.
Watching
Hold
right
on.
now.
Your best UAAP
Yeah, go.
moment. Best
Of course, when we won back in 2002, I didn't play the year before. So when I came back, it was it was all guns firing for me. Talaga, it was a redeeming year for me. So and then we won the championship after 14 years. So it was just really fun for me that time. So that was very memorable.
Rockstar ka nun eh. Kung saan kita nakikita sa mga TV show eh.
Di ako yun, pare.
kamukha lang.
Sir Danny?
Danny.
Well, the back-to-back, no? Because when we won it in 87, we vowed to win it again in 88. We changed coaches and we won it in 88 and it was fortunate that I hit the last 2 free throws. So that was memorable for me.
Edie Rebo, before we close the show.
Meron ako dun.
Ha?
Pwede bang things I do not miss?
Sige, go.
Lahat ng tao nagmura sa akin. As commissioner. And lahat ng tao nangingulit ng tickets. I do not have the tickets. Hey, Jackie, by the way.
We give you the last word, Executive Director, before we close this show. Yun nga, pinag-usapan natin, looking forward in best moments. But, kumbaga, the UAAP fans, what do you want to say?
Well, yun nga, the game has changed. Like the host said, Father Jet Pilarin, that now it's really become a community, before we are rivals. Of course, the old school like us, I also enjoy that, yung the bitter, intense, more physical kind of play. But the game has changed, yun nga, and people are friends right now. We can prove that you can actually compete and compete hard at that and still be friends after. So at the end of the day, just remind ourselves and we give our hearts to the game, but at the end of the day, it's still just a game.
So thank you to our
Kailangan
guests.
thank you na.
We have
Oh,
to say
thank you.
thank you.
Oh, isa-isa. Sige, Pia, go ahead.
Executive Director Rebo Sagiswag. Sagisag.
Sagisag, thank you so much. Makari Councilor, one and only ED, who can dress up like that. National TV,
Kahapon
thank you.
naka-plum. Nung isang araw naka-red. Danny Francisco of the 87-88 back-to-back team of the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Wesley Gonzalez, Ateneo Blue Eagle 2002 championship.
Of course, former team captain of the USD Growling Tigers, an analyst, and now, of course, assistant coach of NU. Thank you, Christian Luanzon. Jeric Teng, thank you also for being here. Teng brothers, Jeron and Jeric, thank you so much. And one and only Rain Man, Ren Ritualo, former.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
This has been a CNN Philippines special. I'm Pia Hontiveros.
And there goes the final buzzer. I'm Andrei Felix. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.